talk about what happened in Long Beach Island and sort of put like kind of a psychological lens on it. My name's Danna, and I'm a therapist in Philadelphia, and I love analyzing things through the lens of psychology and queerness. So there's this thing called idealized transference, right? It's a pretty powerful thing. It's supposed to be part of your therapy early on, where you feel like your therapist is all kind of good. And then at some point in the treatment, you're supposed to realize that actually, like, you're pretty good, they're pretty bad, there's a combo, you're complicated people. But like early on, it's really hard to feel the good parts of yourself. And the idealized transference should not last forever, and it certainly should not be exploited. What PR people do, you know, for famous people like Taylor Swift, is exploit endlessly idealized transference, which is like, how can we make this person feel so good or seem so good that if people feel like by being in proximity to them that they'll actually become good or different or evolved or manifested in some way. And there's nobody who has mastered this more than Taylor Swift, who has simultaneously told us a lot about herself, but also kind of like vacated just enough so that like there's room for the transference. There's just a lot of space for it. Like, she tells us she's real, but like in a way she also acts like she's not, and it's not really on her. Like, the whole thing has become a machine. I'm not accusing Taylor Swift of like exploiting idealized transference. Like, that's not really where this is at. Obviously that is what her PR team is doing, and they're experts at it, and there's never been a more brilliant execution of it, where people literally feel that if they're near her, that their goodness will increase. And like, none of this is right? Like, you're supposed to feel like you have like some inherent access to your own goodness, and that you're not going to catch it from somebody else or get it from someone else. You're supposed to feel like you have inherent access to your own aliveness, and you're not supposed to feel like by being in the proximity of somebody else, you're brought to life. And what happened in Long Beach Island was, like, to me, the most extreme demonstration of idealized transference that I can imagine, where people are literally like, if I crawl into the windows of this restaurant, or if I sit outside screaming at this restaurant, I'll have enough proximity that something in me will be satiated. And like, that's so off. That's not good. And I don't know why the desperation for idealized transference is as intense in this cultural moment as it is, but it is. And I don't know if it's because like we're all traumatized by Trump and basically horrible leadership, and we're just looking for some goodness, or if like honestly kids just went years without teachers that they could idealize, or if there's just a way in which we don't really know how else to make sense of all the badness in the world but to locate it in ourselves, and then to look for the goodness in the world in others. But it's not in Taylor Swift, it's in us. And the goal of idealized transference, whether it's in therapy or in relationships or parasocial relationships or TikTok relationships, is that you realize that these are offerings that represent something about yourself that you're supposed to internalize and you're supposed to be able to hold on to. And they're not externally located in other people. We use other people to get us to understand our own goodness, and that's a really important part of growth and development, but not to the point where we feel like if we're just literally in proximity to them, we'll be transformed. It's our own work to feel like we're good, and it's also our own work to recognize that literally everybody is human, including Taylor Swift, like good and bad, and complicated and messy. And like, once we forget like about people's inherent humanity, we're forgetting that about ourselves too. And that's like really, really dangerous in terms of self-care, relationship with the self, how to talk to oneself. This is all really important. And like, what I saw in LBI is people who just located outside of themselves a sense of balance and equanimity and thought that maybe it could come from someone else. And the truth is, it literally never can.